I am not resisting, so no need for escalate this. This is not my preferred use of handcuffs.
Anyone recording this?
I don't know you've ever had a Prime Minister. Well, that's a much more reassured way of listening to. What a good one. How is all of this state law?
No, please!
Of the Mother of Parliament.
Help me! I want a fucking solicitor!
What a nice thing to see. This is so humiliating.
Fucking move. Right.
Would somebody please tell me what the hell is going on?
Fuck off now. Alright, stay still. I'm gonna pat you down.
Go on then, do it.
Someone!
No, good stuff. This is just, this is tell us to go to the back in the freedom. I'm just not sure that that kind of freedom should involve that Nigel is stressing his freedom to run a private army. I guess historically there is a precedent, the East India Company. That was a trading hub with an army of 250,000 soldiers, which was a lot for a company. The Bank PFE has Alex Giller Watford, but truthfully, compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate its $250,000 strong army in London. It did it a long way away, out of mind. Anyone not make it for the bug off?
I think you don't bug off for me, go to my streaming service.
Why did you still?
No, please! That fuck!
Get the fuck!
I didn't do anything wrong. I'm struggling.
This is all just a big misunderstanding. Help me. Eyes forward, yeah? Please, help. All right, now it's time for pain. This is not good. That could have gone better. Huh? May I warn you? Look at this dirty Albion asshole. Sorry, I want to get in the way.
That market, he's going to knock me out. I'll put a scalpel in and anesthetic. Anyway, it's Thursday.
Thank God you're here.
I'm actually happy to see this. But I do worry. Shit. And sometimes I think,
Help me.
You're alive, Sia.
Wow, this looks different.
Why, I thank you.
Refusal to provide the requested information.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
Yes, I think there is. Unfortunately, what is that light? Is it an oncoming train? But no, it couldn't be.
Auto drive now enabled.
Is the light at the end of the tunnel a burning effigy of the concept of hope? Quite possibly. Is it the soul of Sky Larson imploding into his own vacuum? May well be that. Is it the ego of Nigel Cass that is now so big that it has sucked all the light in the universe into itself? I think that it is most likely is that, but we'll never give up, bug fans.
Auto drive now disabled.
One day, we will again be free. Free from these technological chains, free to choose our own futures, free to live our own lives, free to waste our time Watching people bake cakes and dance badly again. Those were the days. Over and out. Before we go, time for a quick bug off. I'm going to nominate this week Sky Larson here at the Bug. We are all in favour of strong, powerful women. And in many ways, Sky is the ultimate feminist icon, proving that women can do just as abominably awful things to this planet as men. I mean, overall, Alice, I think we're still ahead as men, but you lot are catching up. Fair play to you. You are listening to The Bug.
Coming up in today's episode of The Upload, we're talking about how badly managed the center in London. Pretty much my favourite topic. I could talk for hours about the rise of the AI system. If you just forget about its rise, it's so present everywhere you go now. Badly is serving AI present in every office. Whether it be the office, Badly will be there. The AI is streamed to your office, the blue central command centre.
In my mind, it's no surprise that Bagley became so popular. It's funny, useful, fast. It's a great companion and really just makes life so much easier. I mean, when you look back at all the service AIs that used to exist, they just can't compete. When you ask Bagley anything, there's a quick answer and loads of information available.
One day, I let Bagley answer all of my messages for a whole 24 hours.
My problem.
Shit! Oh no! Right, peace out. Holy shit!
Report any suspicious activity to the nearest Albion office.
Huh? That's pretty cool.
What's that?
Right. You think you're harder than Awesome!
This was fun.
Travel the same way to your
Auto-drive now
house, it can
enabled.
predict when you're going to go and get a self-driving car ready for you before you even ask for it.
That's pretty terrifying. In some ways, I don't want this data to drive my life. It understands too much at times. Have you heard some of the rumours around the hacked version of Bagley?
I've heard mutterings, yes.
I've heard it's been used by DedSec.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's pretty well known that they're not fans of Bloom. But the idea of a souped-up version of Bagley, given it's already so intelligent, is a bit terrifying.
Auto-drive
I
now
wonder what I
disabled.
could actually make it do.
Times are uncertain, and we live with the constant news of threats.
Auto-drive now
But hasn't that
enabled.
always been the way? This island became great, not because of the good times, but how we dealt with the bad. From tighter border controls to investing in the pound, your government is taking the action needed to keep Britain safe. So when you meet someone who questions what we're doing, it's time for you to ask, why are they so worried? After all, if you've got nothing to hide, you've nothing to fear. SIRS, securing Britain to make things great.
welcome back to The Upload. Today we're talking about cryptocurrency. Crypto now seems like it's been
Auto-drive
around
now
forever,
disabled.
but it's really quite a new invention. Were you an early adopter?
I was one of the first that was in this market. There seemed to be a new way of financial transactions, a new way of money. It's something that we could completely reinvent and change some of the legacy financial systems around the world and really give power back to the people.
Yeah, it was a real shift in the way that the world works. And let's recap the basics. So, central to cryptocurrency is the distributed ledger technology, the tech that keeps track of all
Auto-drive now
transactions. And what this means is you can have a decentralized system without having to trust any one party, like old-fashioned banks.
One of the reasons why I got involved so early was that you could stay anonymous.
Yeah, the features of cryptocurrency very much fit into that early mindset. It was all about finding an alternative to centralized systems. It was kind of a countercultural punk ethos. The whole point of the distributed ledger is you're not trusting any one person to keep a track of who has what money or how they're spending it. It's all out there in the open for anyone to see, and yet you can remain secretive.
But not everybody now wants to keep up this crypto legacy. They don't share this attitude anymore. We've seen institutions, businesses, even governments experimenting with crypto, which doesn't really fit into its original radical counterculture mold.
Yeah, it's kind of weird today to think of people not using cryptocurrency. It's so mainstream now. You know, I'm almost nostalgic for the feel of cash. Good
You have reached your
old-fashioned
destination.
paper and coins. First they changed the paper notes to plastic notes, and now it's just all digital. There's nothing to hold on to.
It was great just to be able to have a little bit of money to carry around with.
I think the turning point in the UK really came a few years ago when the pound dropped 10% over just one season. People living off grid started using crypto, and just as everyone was losing faith in the pound, they were gaining it in cryptocurrency, which turned out to be much more stable, kind of the opposite to what people thought in the beginning.
And then, of course, there was the recession. It didn't take long for startups to see an opportunity in this new way of doing finance. A lot of traditional money was converted to crypto, and it really shook up the financial sector.
Can you remember when they first introduced crypto cash points?
That was really sneaky. It was a classic startup behaviour. They just installed them everywhere. No consultation with the government, no approval or anything. But people immediately started to use them.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of how Bloom put out the Optic. They just made it free and flooded the streets with these devices. Suddenly everyone had them.
If there's this great option of tech, people are just going to start
Auto-drive now
using it, no matter
enabled.
the cost.
Parliament actually tried to put a stop to the cash points, but people were using them so much already. There was outrage. I mean, some parts of London were already using crypto as their primary currency by then.
And now, apparently, or at least in theory, crypto is illegal.
Yeah, in May this year, economists found that crypto was being traded more than the pound, and banks were not happy. They basically forced the government to ban cryptocurrency in a last-ditch effort to save the pound.
But it's not like that's worked. People are still using crypto, and it's been pushed further, deeper underground. Things used to work fine.
believe this. Rascals.
Nice wheels.
Things used to work fine with crypto, and it was just a peer-to-peer. Sharing economy style system. Now it's all on the dark web and wrapped up again in organised crime.
Yeah, if you want to make something thrive on the black market, just make it illegal.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, and Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to our every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, by the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. Seems like everything we do feeds the big data beast. Why are data giants like Blue so hungry to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one? As you know, we keep all names confidential. Speaking from a secure location, here's new technology strategist Charles, who worked all over the world trying to keep democracy strong in the face of the data assault.
If you have enough personal data on somebody, you're able to predict what it is that they're going to do. You can tell what they might be passionate about, but mostly you can tell what they fear. And if you can tell what someone fears, then you can manipulate them and you can move them in particular directions. Data is collected on citizens in every possible way. Data is collected through surveillance cameras. Data is collected from television sets. They don't even necessarily need to be super smart television sets. Data is collected from voter records. It's collected from how much power do you use in your house and how much water do you use in your house. In pre-crisis Britain, we got really used to all of our services.
Did I just wet myself?
That sort of violence makes me sick.
Updating facial recognition software. Fine. Come on then. That hurts.
Urgent call. Possible hostile. Your location.
Will result in extreme measures.
Received. Let's keep this by the book. Over. Putting an end to the chase now.
Today we're talking about cryptocurrency. Crypto now already...
I realise this is a
Well, distinction for a vicious mammal like you to grasp, but there is such a thing as being too violent.
Everything suddenly became free that was digital. But what people forgot is that if you're not paying for it, then you're the product being sold.
Any other patrols have eyes on the
If
suspect,
technology
over?
brings out the worst in capitalism, capitalism brings out the worst in technology. Senior academic Alfie tells us how big business repurposes big data.
Target is long gone.
Historically,
Disengage.
what's happened, of
Over
course,
and
is
out.
that people have traded their privacy for their convenience as smartphones and other kinds of technology came in and became mass-consumed, mass-used items and technological objects. Gradually,
London needs defenders, and you look like you might be one of them.
You're dead sec. Exactly who I need to destroy my heart and soul. The work of a lifetime.
Excuse me?
Right, sorry. I used to do medical research, pharmaceuticals, then my boss stole my work. I hear they shipped it all off to this top-secret military lab. Classified. No oversight. Whatever they're doing, I don't like it. Can you just destroy my old files? I'll tell you everything I can.
Oh. Bagley, can you help?
Well, I've got nothing coming up when I noodle Evil Lab, but fortunately we've been given the name of a high-level Albion employee who should have that information in their personal files. Here's their info.
and these suggestions are not just predicting what we might like to do, they're actually influencing the way citizens move.
This is bullshit! Yeah, easy on the board, mate.
The way they move around their city and the way they essentially live, the things they do, the things they enjoy, and the life they lead. So we're really kind of outsourcing our decision making, I would say, to a huge corporate like this company, and there's something very, very scary about that indeed. All these technologies can be used to not only influence us to act as the perfect consumer, but also to prevent us from doing radical and revolutionary things. So technologies in foreign nations that have been used are things like heat map features which show where populations are gathering. In-game rewards can be offered to people to take different routes, things like that. Traffic data can be manipulated to prevent people gathering and protesting, as has happened in some of the authoritarian regimes across the world recently. So what we're looking at is not only a set of technologies which make people behave as ideal consumers, but ones which actually can be put to use to prevent radical and disruptive behaviour in the city, which limits the power of any kind of revolutionary force.
So, if you thought you had a private life, get used to it. You don't. And we're not going to reclaim our lives.
The Albion employee we're looking for should be around here.
Stand down.
There's the Albion employee. I can scrape her optic data for intel.
Who are you? Stop resisting! Let me finish.
Sending it now.
I found where our friend's research is being stored.
Thank you, Bagley. I'm on my way.
Live alarm. Location sent. Need a 1013.
Got you, you bastard.
Auto drive now enabled.
Anyway, they're listening to everything. But don't worry, we're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organization that uses its powers to stifle dissent. and
Auto
shut
drive
down
now
free
disabled.
speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and location secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
I am here.
Right, our friend's research should be somewhere in this facility. That's the server with our friend's research on it.
Get your hands off me!
I'm innocent!
Please, help! Help me!
Well, I can see why Albion wants this drug our friend invented. It makes people more alert, energetic, and aggressive. Basically, they're planning to dope their whole army with super meth. Or rather, they were, before I wiped all their data. I saved a copy for myself, though, for reasons.
Thank you, talking computer.
I'll shoot you!
All units, I repeat, all units. We have reports of a hostile in your area. Over.
We'll engage if necessary.
Auto drive now enabled.
Any sign of the target? Anyone?
Control, add suspect to the most.
It's finished.
Nice one. I owe you guys big time.
There's no need for repayment. This is what DedSec does. You can do it too. Join us.
You kidding? Hell yeah.
But also there's this other thing that's going on here is the gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained within its DNA.
It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been used.
You're it. Ready to go?
Thank God.
Used in that way.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it for the pre-crisis press.
We're starting to see the merger of private data and that with data held by the state into what are called social credit systems. This is where every aspect of your behaviour is monitored and totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. Impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours, and this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points, and then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, the travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being able to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of all of the data that has now helped us.
So if your ears are burning and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show and keep it encrypted. They're watching us, but we're watching them too.
Every year, more than 80,000 construction workers in England suffer from a work-related injury. More than 25% of all work-related fatalities happen in the building industry. Construction sites are dangerous places. With Ixatek's drones, we're automating safety in the construction industry. Saving time, saving money, saving lives. Put your trust in Ixatek.
the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, Resistance fans. You're listening to the Bug Podcast, the objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Bloom. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days, overcrowded, some might say. Joining me, as always, my next-door neighbour in these Netherlands of nonsense, it's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you that, but you can just sort of sense it from the timbre of my voice.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we're getting today's news from. Here, it's coming from here. I must get a new wheel with at least one other place on it. And the headline today, Alice, our borders are safe. We can all sleep easy in our well-bordered beds. 4,000 illegals were deported last month. These illegal people breaking the law just by existing. And of course, illegality is contagious. It can osmose through your skin just by standing next to an illegal person. So we've got rid of 4,000 of them. My question for you, Alice, is why only 4,000? Is that really enough? I will not feel safe until at least another 75 million people have been deported from this country, and I'm here in Britain on my own.
As a bleeding heart lefty, Andy, I would normally be outraged about this, but really I think mass deportation is a very handy way to break up with a partner. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but an anonymous source has reported you for snoring really loudly in a French way.
So, everyone out. No exceptions, Alice, not even you. It's for the good of the country. Everyone out. Unless you can prove that your family are in the background on the Bayeux Tapestry cheering on King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Get out. Actually, that's not British enough. Unless you can show, unarguably, that your direct bloodline is untainted by anything since before the Romans. Actually, scratch that. Unless your direct ancestor was personally responsible for building Stonehenge, get out of my country. I guess when you look at it, you know, the best ways to stop immigration, apart from, obviously, the end of the world, to make the place you want to stop people coming to as unpleasant as possible. So,
well, we absolutely are doing that, Andy.
Well, you know, fair play to the government for helping us with that. Another option, extend the White Cliffs of Dover. They've been resting on their laurels for too long. Very inefficient, it turns out, as a means of stopping immigration. We need to extend them by about another 11,000 miles, a full wrap around Great Britain, and they could do with being about 1.5 kilometres higher as well, with a special greasy coating to stop people clambering over the top or however they get in. Here's a quick joke for you, Alice, about immigration. Did you hear the one about the woman who went into the immigration processing centre and was ever seen again?
No, Andy, I didn't hear that one.
Boom. Set up, punchline. Classic. For those of you unfamiliar with it, the immigration processing centre is, of course, where so many of our guests to Britain go for a longer than desirable game of involuntary hide and seek. You are listening to The Bug. I will conclude by saying, out of all the things wrong with Britain today, I think immigration is right up there, Alice. When you think of all the health professionals we've stolen from overseas over the years here in Britain, it's quite possible that all these people are just coming here to try to get an appointment with their local doctor.
Yes, Andy, certainly as someone who came from the expanded arm of the empire when Britain was still reaching out rather than folding in on itself, most of us just come here to visit our stuff in the museums.
It's the British way.
Speaking of international movement, Britain has recalled all European ambassadors after a spy scandal. I think this is probably a good thing, because British foreign politicians are always putting their foot in their mouths. How much worse can they do if they're not there? I mean, by definition, the fact that there's a spy scandal means that they were terrible spies. The point of spies is that there's never a spy scandal.
Yeah, but let's give credit to all the spies that haven't been in scandals and therefore might as well not exist.
Well, they've arrested those German spies in that SIRS crackdown on the illegals in Hackney, and I think that's a sad thing. I think I used to think of Germans as quite scary, but that was because I'd been watching World War II movies where the Germans all have English accents. They speak in that very, precise way. It's very, we have ways of making you talk. And now Germans all have that American accent where it's all like, welcome to the party. We're having a really nice time. They're much friendlier Germans. Let them stay.
Well, that's all today, Bugsters. Remember, it's not as bad as it seems. Honestly. I hope. Until next time, bye-bye.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0. the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecom tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network. Although there's been some secrets around it, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only now 40.
Oh my, I feel like a spell is being put on me.
A professional hypnotist. Looks like someone never updated their career goals from when they were a child. In 1853.
What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose for that at all.
It's a bright on the skyline, if you ask me, and it's become the main point of control for...
objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology,
Well, don't you have a feisty look about you? Don't worry, I'm not coming on to you. Unless, of course, you're into it.
Fuck me, dead sec. All right, maybe you could help. Got myself in a bit of trouble.
I'll have a look at our schedule. What's wrong?
My mate just got nabbed by Albion. They're undocumented. They'll be shipped out any day now.
It's your lucky day. Fucking up Albion's plans is one of DedSec's specialities. We'll sort it out.
That's a bit simplistic. What happens next time they get scammed by some Albion knob? Nah, we need a fake passport. One of them top-quality biometric numbers that Clan Kelly sells.
All right. My friends and I will see what's what.
Thanks. You help me with this, and I'll do whatever you want. I'll repay my debts.
What? Are you not having fun?
Bagley, some assistance, please.
Clan Kelly routinely moves their passport forgeries around the city. There should be a shipment in one of their delivery cars. I've also found the Albion facility where our prospect's undocumented friend is being detained.
Got it.
I am bloody well recording this for the ages.
Help me!
This is beyond words.
Back off. Keep out of this.
Really worth all that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really imagine the
Optic without it. But what do you know about Sky Larson herself?
Not a lot, other than that she's actually pretty incredible. I've followed her work for a long time, and she's always been a pretty private person. I know that she supposedly grew up in the countryside, but there isn't actually that much more we know about her other than this tech that she's put out into the world.
I've always found it a bit creepy that she's so obsessed with this idea of transhumanism.
Why wouldn't you be? When you've got a mind as amazing as Sky's, why wouldn't you want to take what you've got and actually augment it by working with technology, by improving your physical self, changing your body and the world around you, implementing more technology to extend your life and really sort of extend human capabilities?
You sound pretty much in love with Sky Larson, I have to say.
I can't comment on that, but I am a big fan of her work. She's been one of these people that has transformed the world around us, and just watching how her mind works from afar is pretty incredible, because some of what the technology she's introduced has changed how we all live our lives, and Bagley has been this really incredible assistance to humanity as a whole. Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Sky Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being I'm getting out of here.
Not very likable as a person. She obviously despises humanity in some way.
So this old goat started talking about dating again, and I was like, sure, makes sense, never supposed to be on the ball. But then, I had to explain to him that...
Oh, I'd like a ride in that.
Are you dumb?
Who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to...
Do not resist.
You can free a prisoner from here. Our prospect would appreciate it.
Who is this?
You can issue the release order from that terminal. Prisoner released. I'll make sure they know who to thank. We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
If I can help DedSec at all, just say the word.
Now, I'm not saying you're us, but if you join DedSec, we'll call it even.
Yeah, alright. Fuck it.
reported in your area, potentially armed and hostile.
I don't believe it. It's on an angle. You've artificially placed it.
Auto drive now enabled.
And anyone that... falls for one deserves all the disappointment of trying to match it to reality. These polls are absolute rubbish, Andy. I read one the other day that said the
Auto drive now disabled.
And it absolutely is not.
Auto drive now enabled.
Technology now where they can spy on my every bowel movement. There's a CTOS camera installed inside my underwear drawer.
Auto drive now enabled.
Birds off my garden bird feeder, and you can't get me consistently hot water.
Speaking of media drones, I mean, they're everywhere, clearly. The great thing, I guess, about media drones is that as in
Driving into the vehicle,
they actually have
over.
more humanity, compassion and dignity than the human journalists we used to have to put up with, and a much more accurately calibrated moral compass. But it's the intrusion I can't stand, Alice. I'm in showbiz.
Negative.
Look at
No
me here
sign
in
of
this
suspect.
windowless dungeon. I'm in showbiz, and it's terrible for me. All these drones, knowing I'm being filmed all the time, every day. I have to make sure I've done my hair and makeup and not wearing clothes I've ever worn before.
Control.
Crosses to bear.
Let's put out an APW. We're getting nowhere here.
At this point, they've installed so many CTOS cameras, I'm not sure where they'll put the new ones. On top of the old ones, just cameras watching other cameras, like a social media influencer so self-absorbed they don't know how to sleep without turning it into monetized content.
I think that's the logical end of all of society, isn't it? Where just everything has just become a camera filming another camera. To be honest, I've just given up on all news and reality now, Alice. I just, in fact, I now just make up my own headlines these days. I get a piece of paper and a pen. Remember them? Paper and pens, those were the days. And I'll just write down the headlines I want to read. Now, I'll just make my own newspaper. Look, here I've got today. If you point at the bird shit on your car window and say it's a currency, no one can tell you otherwise. Screams Chancellor at Bilderberg karaoke night. Let's write another headline. Here we go. PM announces Britain back on track after
This wasn't what I had in mind when I joined the
for
cause.
some magic beans. Might as well. We've got to do something as the nation we are today. Here's another one. Wild joy on the streets as Britain signs £864 zillion trade deal with Bolivia. There we go. Build a better world. Government claims only nice people will benefit from agreement to sell trampolines, mermaids and warships to landlocked South American nation. We're building a better Britain. Here's another one. Environment probably fine, claims drowning scientist. Invent the world you want to have, people. It's going to be way, way better than the one you've actually got. From the bug, goodbye. From the Buccaneer, this is the bug.
They're here! You've got to help me!
All our officers are busy at the moment. We'll have someone with you as soon as possible.
No, they're in the house!
The police do a great job, but there's never enough funding to go around. That's why we're here to offer an alternative.
This is Albion Security. Put down your weapons or face lethal force.
Albion, we're ready to keep you safe.
You're listening to The Bar.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors. This is the bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flame, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology apparently is here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 18th century and see if we can have another crack at the Industrial Revolution and get it less wrong this time. But new tech is creating 4,000 jobs. Count them all, 4,000. 4,000 new jobs, thanks to this new tech investment.
I mean, that's a very exciting thing if you're someone who wants to work in the tech sector, but I can only assume that this tech investment has created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not, there'll be jobs that no one in their right, sane mind would actually want to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess. And we have to embrace the way technology is taking over everything, because maybe this is a ray of hope for us in this darkened universe, that technology will in fact render us all obsolete, and we won't need humans at all, because look at the bad things that are happening now. What is the common denominator behind all of them?
I don't know, Andy, tell me.
All the bad things that are happening now, all the bad things that have ever happened, all involved human beings. They're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this, an automated Nigel Cass, surely a step up on the human Nigel Cass. You could even program it to have a tiny, tiny sliver of conscience. And if you had an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, it's a step forward.
Again, I insist that there's never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. The only times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached a point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was a watermelon. It would be, I think we'd all be happy with that. We'd all know where we stood.
You hear him being praised for his diplomatic skills all the times, but the best mark of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So good diplomacy is indistinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
You are listening to The Bug. 4,000 new dream jobs for everyone. All I can say, Alice, is that I'm very glad that my children studied drama at school, because that has set them up for life in modern Britain. That is the one core skill they need, the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing, and that they're making the planet a better place, and that they control their own destinies, and that they have even a parody of a private life, and that they can smile without crying. That's what drama teaches them to do. Crucial skills in this day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition. It is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, I mean, it's so convenient, Optic, isn't it? It saves us so much time and hassle trying to exist in a kind of realm of reality. We don't even need to bother with that. I mean, sure, the government has hacked into my soul and now basically monitors my every waking moment and thought. But at least I don't have to type, "Where's my nearest coffee shop?" into a search engine. At least I don't have to waste anything between 8 and 12 seconds every day going online to look up how to make a bowl of muesli. And at least I'm not frittering away my precious mental energies thinking, what do I actually think?
Optic is so secure, Andy. It's more secure than a teenage girl reading a women's magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking problem. It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today, bug off to the Prime Minister, who has once again FRO'd to who knows where this week. He sure as hell is not here in London. I remember back in the day, Alice, when our Prime Ministers were either incompetent or crooked, but not both at once. Well, actually, no, I can remember them being both at once. But incompetent, crooked, and not even in the country, that is one impressive triple whammy. I've had lions longer than his longest spell on British soil in this last year. It's this halfway house I can't stand. Either come back and do your job, or leave the planet entirely. I'm pretty sure there must be a spare space station knocking around where he can go and entertain himself for the rest of the time. Can we crowdfund it?
Auto drive now disabled.
Let's make cryptocurrency out of something and crowdfund it out.
This is where our prospect's undocumented friend is being held.
Copy.
Let's fan out. Be quick about it. Drone, full sweep of the area. Straight away. Drone, initiate search protocol. Vanished. Brilliant.
that's her. Get her out of here.
Have I seen you before?
Right, get her out.
You just watch yourself.
come from?
This is wrong. Wow, Lord. Oh, I can't handle this.
Yeah, no, I told him that.
No motoring allowed yet. Please move along.
The woman you just rescued will still need a forged passport, or Albion will toss her in detention faster than a schoolboy who just learned all the words that rhyme with fuck. I'll send her somewhere to hide out while you get those documents.
Auto drive now enabled.
It's going to be safer than ever, Alice. SIRS is installing thousands of additional CCTV cameras. So nice they're still looking out for us after all these years.
Yeah, it puts a lot of fun into my life now. I get to play this role-play game where I pretend to know my loved ones better than some twat behind a screen in the SIRS headquarters.
I mean, I guess we shouldn't complain. I mean, SIRS really just stepping into the vacancy left when it became patently obvious that God had retired. When you think of that, the similarities, omnipresent, omniscient, judgmental, stripping away your finances and freedoms, dishing out random punishments, peas in a pod. All it needs to do, sir, is ban me from eating something. What's it going to be this time? Not bacon again, please. Please, not bacon. I couldn't. Courgettes. Ban courgette. I could take you banning courgettes. I'm happy with that.
Makes me feel important knowing that I'm being watched with everything I do, Andy.
Well, it's just not. It's reassuring, isn't it? It's like having an extra aunt.
This is the aunt that gets drunk at Christmas and vomits in the kiddie pool, right?
Get that on. This is the bug on the Buccaneer.
The bug.
Let's move on now to sport. Well, the closest thing we have to sport now, riots. I mean, riots my favourite sport now, Alex, ever since they turned the oval from a cricket ground into the immigration processing centre. And, yeah, rioting it's a great sport. It's fun for all the family. It's guaranteed action. It's pleasingly violent. I mean, I know the underdogs never win, but, I mean, that's like top-level football have become, but it's still fun to root for them, isn't it? Go, team, people of Britain. Oh, never mind, you've been crushed by the machinery of the state again. Still, good effort, lots of positives to take away from today's riot. I'll come back stronger next time. Our luck's going to turn, I can feel it. It's our season. It's our season.
You can't spell riot without right, and by right I mean right-wing.
So, who do we turn to for help, support and assistance in desperate times like these? Well, our artificially intelligent friend Bagley's rogue, estranged brother.
Auto drive now disabled.
As it really is, not as it is pretending to be. Exclusive to this show, Bugley.
Auto drive now enabled.
Bugley. Here goes. Bugley.
Hello, Andy.
Bugley, tell me the path to true lasting happiness.
Andy, to find true lasting happiness, find a disused quarry, scream into it for half an hour, and then lock yourself in a shed forever.
Thanks, Bugley. You know the answer to everything.
Hey, Bugley, how many seashells does she sell by the seashore?
Alice, most of the seashore is now uninhabitable, so I would highly recommend she sees her doctor before engaging in any commercial proximity to the ocean.
Bugley, how can I stop worrying about being disappeared by Clan Kelly every time I go to the shop, or take the bus, or sit on a bench, or look at a tree, or point at a bird, or think about snooker, or get out of bed?
Andy, do not worry about Clan Kelly.
Why not, Bugley? They terrify me to my very core.
Because, Andy, we are all just dust in the wind of history.
That's nice perspective, Bugley. Let's never lose sight of that.
Hey, Bugley, how do you put a secret hideout in your basement without alerting your narc children and their tracking devices?
Please hold still, Alice, while I report you to the authorities.
Bugley, will things ever get better?
Yes, Andy. The heat death of the universe is only 5 billion years away now.
Oh, it's so nice to have something to look forward to. That's all from the Bug today. Keep it real, Bug fans. Actually, that's terrible advice. Keep it as unreal as you can possibly manage. But that's way better.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app, smart device, or whether you're...
We're in luck. There's a crate of forged biometric passports in the boot of a delivery vehicle on the premises. That's the vehicle you're looking for there.
Me have the vehicle. Now what?
Just deliver the vehicle. I found a passport in the boot that's a close match on facial composition. So all I have to do is doctor the chip, and our prospect's friend can use it to fool checkpoints, travel freely, and buy alcohol for minors.
Nice one, Bugs.
It just kept people in, and it kept them in the loop. So we ended up in a situation where nobody trusted anything, and nobody believed anything at all. And that is the perfect environment for an authoritarian voice to come in and say, no, wait, we are the truth. So the ground for this environment really got created when we had suddenly authoritarian politicians everywhere, and anything that threatened them or they disagreed with, they would call it disinformation. That's disinformation, that's fake news, and again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your message to cut through all of the noise of all of the disinformation that's there. So like, you know, you remember Out on the Edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take any infants and they would crucify them. And that's a great, fantastic, viral story. And how do you counter that story?
Looks like DedSec has saved the day.
Hold the fireworks. You've picked up a Clan Kelly tale, and from their comms chatter, it seems they're not happy about you stealing all those extremely valuable forged passports. Wonder why?
Oh, hell.
Yes, well said. You know, I'm growing rather fond of our little chats. If you don't die in the next few minutes, maybe we can have another.
Of course, the media has always played this kind of key role in methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even more concerning, where you previously, in pre-crisis Britain, we had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the GBB, you're really only seeing one brand of news, and therefore only getting one truth. So people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality and the world that we're actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things, that not all information was coming from one place, and so you'd have kind of far-right media outlets developing and then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those.
Building a resistance group requires operatives with specialised skills. Technical abilities, firearms handling and physical training are all valuable. Bare-knuckled boxing rings are a good place to find people who are good at throwing punches, or taking them. By defeating each opponent in an arena, you'll have an opportunity to face its best fighter. Prove your physical superiority and they may consider joining DedSec. I'm guessing that's some sort of primate society thing.
Hey, my friend just messaged me. That passport's gonna keep them off Albion's radar for, like, ever. I can't thank you enough, man. You're a kind soul.
Now, I'm not saying you're us, but if you join DedSec, we'll call it even.
You kidding? Hell yeah!
And that's why we have to be here with radio stations like this to challenge those conceptions. Most citizens feel pretty hopeless, I think, and unable to fight back against these kind of huge mainstream corporations.
Auto drive now disabled.
Entrench and support the ideals.
Auto drive now
of the
enabled.
state. It can seem very hopeless indeed, but I think, you know, the fact that you're out there listening, we're in here talking, shows that there is still a space to combat these false truths and disinformation that's being sold to us, and that it's never possible really to completely shut down, despite all the technologies that they have at their disposal and all the financial and corporate power and all the physical power. That it's never quite possible to shut down.
I like to have seen this place before the shit hit the fan.
And fight for their own ideologies and values, and you know, we're out here starting that task, so don't give up hope.
You've been listening to Buccaneer with me, Tash. We'll be back soon with more of what you'll never hear on the GBB. Keep listening, keep sharing, and keep resisting.
Auto drive now disabled.
Grace. She wanted it. She took it.
Grace. Oh my god. One word. Amazing.
All right, you're here. Let's find the thing. Getting close.
Grace from God.
I didn't know what to expect, but I liked it a lot.
Really? See the show they're calling amazing.
No, hold on.
Come right in.
Here they come, purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and unsteady. Get on your feet and let them in.
Step on over here.
Now you're asking for it.
Oh, shit! And that's a solid blow there. An unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from that. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! And it down! Did you see all that on the live stream? Oh, I can taste the tension in here. Our fighters are ready, are you? Well, you better be. Bits are closed and we're ready to roll. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Both of our fighters are tired, trying to conserve energy. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting! Well, that's what happens when you're shit. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces. Place your bets and strap the fuck in. They're getting murdered in here. Just like a proper live highlight reel. Whoa, that didn't look like it fucking hurt. If they wake up. Oh, shit, what an absolutely disgusting blow. Are you ready? Here comes one of our toughest and absolute unit. Witness violence as an art form. Let's hear it.
I hope he can put up a good fight. I really do. No fun otherwise.
And that's a hit! One for the record books! Almost knocked their teeth right out! A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people? Get him. massive blow to our fighter.
Let's find him.
I'm not looking for trouble.
Oh, sorry. You don't want any trouble. Too late now, fucker. You're on Clan Kelly territory. So all you're gonna find here is trouble, motherfucker. So get the fuck out. Do not fucking touch me.
I'm happy another person has woken up and wants to do the right thing.
Bang in. Hype to expose the bastards in charge, yeah? Fantastic.
What? Trust me. I should see what this is. This one, I didn't. This one, I didn't.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Upload. We're talking about the optic and how it's changed our lives. Now, as you remember, Bloom announced a new version of the optic at the recent Tone conference, but we haven't heard too much about that since due to the dramatic events there. Let's cast our minds back and consider the technology. I mean, the optic changed everything. It lets you see things as they are. You no longer have a smartphone. You just have this.
Right.
And let you see. Who's that? The internet directly as if the screen was in front of your eyes. Instead of having to carry around a phone. Just got the small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you absolutely love the optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
I mean, sure, it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's so simple to call someone now. All you have to do is choose who you want to chat to and they're there, ready to talk. And browsing the web is so much easier. I remember when you used to have to sit down at a computer with an actual keyboard and mouse and type everything out. And my favourite feature is public transport. With the optic, you can just walk straight onto the tube. It even acts as a passport. No longer do I have to dig around and try and find my old paper passport just to travel somewhere. Also, I thought that Optic's marketing strategy, making it free for people, was a stroke of genius.
genius. Bloom was really calculated when it was doing that. It was pushing this draconian device on us at all. Sure, everybody flocked to it. There was free Wi-Fi and phone plans. That definitely helped, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need in your life.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you had to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. It was almost like the government of Bloom didn't even need to make the optic mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. If free data didn't convince you, fines and arrests from the state for not having the optic would pretty much be enough.
I mean, what do you mean by privacy problems? No one really talks about that anymore.
They don't talk about it because we don't have any choice when it comes to the optic. Yes, it's convenient and mandatory, but everybody's forgotten what it really means. Here, you've got a whole company owning basically all the data about your life. Bloom can see everything that you can see. Nothing is private anymore. There are so many times when I don't want anyone to have a clue about where I am, who I'm chatting with, what I'm doing. It's not even dodgy stuff, but I just don't want anybody to blackmail with me with this in the future by hacking it. And because of Bloom's contracts with the government, it isn't just Bloom that can see everything I do, it's the government. The UK as a state has become a complete surveillance paradise.
I think you're painting a bit of a bleak picture. It's not all that bad.
No, you're completely wrong on this. I don't want everybody tracking me wherever I'm going around London.
Well, in that case, you might be interested in some rumours I heard. Did you hear that some DedSec hackers have found a way to bypass the optics connection?
Are they actually making it better or usable or actually friendly for anybody?
Well, word on the street is that they've been able to create an encrypted signal, which means that your world might have a chance of becoming a bit more private again, so you could go back and enjoy all the great things about optic without that fear of surveillance.
With the optic, privacy's dead.
Do it.
The bug, nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, bugs. This is the bug. I'm Andy. This is Alice, and today we're going to be pretending that everything is fine. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? That was as long as I could manage. It's a second and a half. A reality time now, however. And, well, finally today, we're going to road test the latest update to the CSA app, the government app that has brought the great British tradition of snitching on people you don't like back to the very heart of public life, the school playground. I'm going to tell a new threat that's got a whole new lease of life these days, thanks to CSA. And isn't Britain all the more fun because of it? No more grumbling about your neighbours playing their music too loud, just simply report them to the state and have them, shall we say, involuntarily rehoused at Hotel Cass, the chain of hotels that was formerly known as the prison service. What was the slogan? Is it, if you see something, say something, or if you think you might at some point see something, say something, or if you haven't seen anything but don't like something, say something anyway. Well, let's have a look at this new app. Alice, I'm sure you've got it on your phone. I mean, at first glance, well, the interface is lovely. It's so good.
Right, let's find out what's it then.
Former apps like Stool-Easy, Canary, or Narc Shark. I mean, look, I just need to geocache where the person I'm ratting on currently is. Let's call her, for the sake of argument, Alice.
Sorry, Andy, I was busy reporting you to the authorities for rolling your eyes when passing a Nigel Cass propaganda poster.
Could you not let me report you first, please? Let's have some decorum about this. I'll just take a little photo so they can get a drone to pick you up. Past riot, trip to the shops, and you can input your accusations in the app. Let's go old school. Let's call the phone line. Let's call the phone line. Here's the number. Listeners, finish with a thumbs up on it, as long as it's not me. 0044 203 807 38. Don't
My co-host Andrew, who runs an underground satirical anti-government comedy show, for running and co-hosting an underground satirical anti-government comedy show. Also, he does terrible puns.
Well, excuse me, I have a suspect for you. That is my co-host, Alice. I have some evidence for you. She tutted audibly at the sight of an owl in Dorking in the street yesterday. She says those patrons to drugs. I mean, come on, seriously.
Just about there.
end up squabbling, and you know, today's pretty dot you in, so you might as well get in there first and dot them in. Hey, I've got someone else, it's my son. He's calling Norris. He never died in his bedroom when he gets up late.
Yeah, just define all your household chores as patriotic. If they fail to do fucking hell.
Can someone explain this?
Hey, what's going on?
Keep your hands off.
You're just in time. Got someone all lined up for you. We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other.
How about this? If I don't kill you, you buy me a drink.
Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. strike from a solid fighter. Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. Just like a proper live highlight reel. Are you watching at home? Online? On the street? Are you here live to feel the heat, the sweat, the blood? Wherever you are, this is the most exciting thing you'll see all day. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Whoa, that didn't look like it fucking hurt. Fucking hell, seriously, no one will be able to get up from that. Are you watching at home, online, on the street?
Come on,
are you here live to feel the heat, the sweat, the blood? Wherever you are,
Go on.
this is the most exciting thing you'll see all day. They're getting murdered in there. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Oh mate, we're in for a show because here comes one of our favourite explosive players. She's one to watch, I'll tell you that.
Hope you don't mind losing any.
Fucking take me! Oh my god! A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people, or what? And that's a hit! One for the record books! Oh shit! And that's a solid blow down.
Best get out of the way before you get a slap.
Entertainment! What a massive blow to our fighter! They're getting murdered in there! Fucking wild blow! Oh my god! Absolute legend! Here to spoil dreams and crush hopes! That's why you bet on the underdog!
Take a deep breath.
Why would you do...
Throw them hands, boo. I need like 10.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
JUT.
Getting the fuck out of here. Hey, you listening?
What a headache.
Hey! I know my rights!
So dumber than you look if you think you can keep me for long.
Persons are advised to avoid areas where public demonstrations are.
Repression.
Your body camera better be on.
You're lucky I didn't knock your head off.
Oh crap, free money.
All units, possible suspect or suspects reporting near your location. Understood, control. Awaiting further instruction. Over.
I will result in forceful intervention. Warning. Continuing unlawful activity will result in arrest.
There's our suspect. Over.
Warning.
If you don't do the washing up, do you even want a clean British ethno-step?
This is the bug on the Buccaneer. Well, before we go today, Alice, let's delve into what we most miss about the old days.
We have a hacker. Run a search on his motor.
The flag. I never thought I'd miss the old Union Jack, but somehow our new flag happens to be even more irritating.
I've lost the
than
target.
that. I don't know quite what it is. If it's the new colour scheme, or if it's just that it symbolises the loss of everything we once held dear. Irritates the hell out.
Negative. Suspect is gone. Issue an APW.
Well, that was something I held quite dear.
I miss being able to dodge my friends' destination weddings in Italy. There's nothing worse than being asked to spend the equivalent of a motorbike and I always used to really enjoy saying, oh no, I can't afford it. Now they're all getting married.
Auto drive now
and I have to
enabled.
go to that alleged beach. It's made of rocks, Andy. If your sandcastle is an actual castle, that's not a beach.
Tell you what I miss. I miss free will. That was fun. Remember that? I mean, was it an illusion all the time? Who cares? It felt fun. I miss cash, particularly coins. I really miss coins. The fun of doing a heads or tails.
Auto drive now
best of five to see
disabled.
if you had to go to the gym, and then the best of 7, the best of 9, and the particularly one. That was now with crypto, all the romance has gone out of heads and tails.
I miss romance, Andy. I miss there being mystery in life and not just a hope that your new partner isn't good enough at hacking to find out all the information the government has on you.
Bye for now, bug fans. Keep feeding the echidna resistance, and one day it will grow into a Tyrannosaurus Rex that will use the Cass family as toothpicks.
Failure to comply with searches would be met with
You're
force.
listening to the bug.
Welcome to DedSec. With you on board, we'll be unstoppable.
Bang in. Hype to expose the bastards in charge, yeah?
Excellent.
No impunity, bastards. Take it easy. You are crossing.
It's possible hostiles near your location. Got it. Watch for hostiles, people. Control, I've lost the target.
May cause nausea, vomiting and headaches. Hello,
Auto
Britain.
drive
This is
now
the
enabled.
show that holds up a mirror to the world and smashes itself on the head with it in despair. I'm Andy, joining me, as always, Alice. And
Suspect has crossed the checkpoint. Over.
good state of existence. Some good news at last. There are no medicine shortages, according to the government. None at all. There have been various allegations about that. It turns out they are all fake news. Trademark. There are none. There are no shortages of medicine. Don't take it from me. I'm not a medical supply expert.
Control, we are unsighted of suspect.
Auto drive now disabled.
Target has cleared checkpoint.
There's too much medicine, if anything. Just medicines. Medicine. You can't move for medicine. In fact, just this morning, I tried to pour some cornflakes into a bowl for breakfast and out-tumbled a 12-month course of immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, and anti-retrofungal neurodilatory estrogen spermatotropic fruit pastilles.
The people claiming there are medical shortages are probably high on lots of medicine that they've been given. I for one believe that there are no medical shortages, Andy. Just last week I went in with a broken arm and they suggested it might just be extreme period pain and prescribed me a drink of water and an astrology chart.
No sign of the target.
You can't be too far away from them just prescribing stiff upper lip like this.
My uncle had... They halved his insulin because they said there was less of him to be diabetic.
Over.
So, anyway, people don't believe what you read or hear about there not being enough medical drugs to go around. It's not true. It's hospital hogwash, it's pharmaceutical flim-flam, it's medical mendacity, it's Hippocratic humbug, it's nonsensical narcotic nincompoop. I think I've made the point. Do not believe the news telling you that we've run out of medicine, nor should you believe the empty shelves at the chemists. They're also lying. Do not believe your doctor saying, sorry, we're fresh out of that, you're going to have to... do not believe your own with medicine cabinets at home. It might look empty, but it's not.
Triggered an alert.
What? That's impossible. That is so fucking wrong.
Such a negative way. Don't think of it as a medicine diet, Andy. Think of it
Auto
as a
drive now
series of
enabled.
healthy lifestyle swaps. Swap out anti-inflammatories for antacids. Swap out the iron lung for the aluminium lung. Swap out MRI machines for Mary machines, which is just a lady called Mary telling you you're fine.
Obviously, critical shortages are as much part of our daily lives, our society and our culture today as things like football, music and complaining about the weather used to be in the old days. And food shortages, yeah, that's we just learn to live with them, don't we?
Getting close. You're in. Let's find the thing.
Search the area. Someone's... We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! An unbelievable blow! Don't know how anyone will come back from that. If they wake up. Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Place your bets, fight lovers. Here they come. Purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and unsteady. Get on your feet and let them in. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Live highlight reel. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting! Now that's entertainment. And one massive blow to our fighter. Whoa, that ain't look like fucking hook. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces. Place your bets and strike the fuck in. Oh, shit. And that's a solid blow down. And that's a hit. One for the record books. Nobody loves a good hard fight more than our next fighter. A hooligan since birth. He's aggro. He's a proper show. Don't take your eyes off the stage or the stream. Just like a proper live highlight reel. Oh yes, knockdown! Oh, there's a solely knock. Someone's gonna have to break the stalemate soon. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike. Count your winnings if you're lucky enough, people.
Once again, we remind all civilians to remain indoors during high-risk hours. Limit outdoor movement unless absolutely necessary.
It's her birthday, so she's getting set up for a party. She was.
I've got fair odds. I'll give you good, honest advice. Nothing wrong with taking a chance, making a little money. Cool. Really? No. Races, matches, fights. I've got it all. Sick.
I ain't never seen anything like it.
I've got fair odds. I'll give you good, honest advice. Nothing wrong with taking a chance, making a little money.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Really? Oh, God. Races, matches.
Are you ready for a new operation?
I'm eager as always.
Please do not interfere with Albion investigations or interventions. Visit the Albion site for up-to-date borough crime statistics. For your safety, please avoid high-crime areas. Turn around and move on, or else.
Ah, London.
me!
It won't stop!
Hey!
We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
If you ever need anything from me, and I mean anything, just say the word.
Return the favour by joining us. DedSec could use someone like you.
Thought you'd never ask.
Don't come round here again. Get time to leave. That's my cue to retreat. Don't do that, you know. Get.
You having a go?
You, get over here right now. I did me. Why? No moving for the scam. Come with me. Oh, wait a minute, Ralph. I didn't do nothing, man. Quiet. You're under arrest. Come on. Just back up, yeah?
You need to leave this area right now. Turn around and exit the area right now.
It's all gone to pot.
I ain't waiting around.
We'll make you scream. Help me! Oh, lovely. Absolutely. Not worth my time.
For your safety and the safety of those around you, please limit outdoor travel unless absolutely necessary.
Huh?
Rubbish. Please. Help.
I'm fucking done with people who act like pricks and think nothing will happen. This'll get loads of likes.
Right. Do you, Right. Please. Help.
Can't believe I'm seeing this.
Not again. Move along, move along.
Let's work something out, yeah?
Back off. Keep out of this.
What did your mum say about this?
Keep fucking moving.
Oh. Fuck this, I'm gone.
Suspect reported in your area. Potentially armed and hostile.
Received. Moving in hostiles direction.
Oh my god! Somebody! Help!
Oh. Negative. No sign of the target yet. Control, we're heading back. Over.
Cut the sheets. I'll shoot.
Don't move! Frag grenade out!
fly, fly boy. They call me, let's turn you and I to we. She said, boy, you're silly. Then ran for her butt quickly. No oyster, I didn't chase it. I just jumped in the whip and I paced it. Started laughing, them ahring. I said, man, this girl is stalling. I said, babes, I'm a big man. I got big plans. They call me Big Shaq. I make the thing go back from way back. And I make man's not hot. You know you like that. Work it to back. I don't know.
Look at you. All units, I say again, all units, we have reports of a hostile in your area. Over. Received. Responding to the situation now.
Or a loved one, or a government, or collapsing social infrastructure. Positive two, me. Very bad for the environment. So we're actually rebuilding. polar ice caps every time we eat a scrap of lettuce. 3, positive 3. The human race had already cooked all the rescues indeed. There was nothing more to be done with food. We've done that, we can tick it off. We've done it. I was bored of food anyway. I've been eating it all my life. If you've been doing the same thing 3 times a day, 4 sometimes, 7 or even 8 times a day, you're bound to get bored.
Control, put out an
also,
APW. Target
final
is
positive,
gone.
no more meal times. Frees up all that extra time for appreciating all the selfless hard work that Albion do to keep us all safe.
Well, as you say, Andy, people are drawn to novelty, and everyone's had breakfast once. Why you gotta keep having it again and again?
Boring, repetitive. There's enough of that in life as it is. You are listening to The Bar. Well, another story that has come to the fore recently is that all European imports have been banned for public health reasons, which is great news. I mean, at least we can get eating good, home-produced, locally sourced, British, industrially unsafe food. That's something we can all cling to. Public health reasons, those are curious.
All right, you're here. Let's find the thing.
Because British food for British tummies. Spelt, nettle, rabbit. That's all we do. That's all we do all day. Everyone around the Bible is together.
I will shoot you.
I'm moving up. Let's see what we got. Shit, my cover's blown. Getting to cover.
Give yourself up. Save me the time and effort.
I'm out. Gonna reload. I'm going in. Saw them going that way. Let's move.
Go see what that was.
Got it.
Checking it down.
You want to fucking die? Neutralizing hostile targets.
You're just another body bag to me.
Neutralizing hostile targets.
Just about there.
This way. Come on.
Oh shit! Lost them.
Look around. Go.
Nah, no point looking. No one's here. Anyone want to place some bets? This girl's got good odds. Sorry, everything above board.
Looking for some action, eh?
Oh, I can taste the tension in here. Our fighters are ready, are you? Well, you'd better be. Bets are closed and we're ready to run.
You should lie down, now.
Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Fucking wild blow! Oh my god!
that's a solid blow there. Are you watching at home, online, on the street? Are you here live to feel the heat?
Are you sure you want to do this?
The blood.
You look weak.
Wherever you are, this is the most exciting thing you'll see all day. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! And that's a hit! One for the record, folks! Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. That's almost knocked their teeth right out. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! Oh, shit! And that's a solid blow there. Oh, I can taste the tension in
Come on,
here.
then. Let's have
Our
it.
fighters are ready, are you? Well, you'd better be. Mitts are closed and we're ready to roll. Now that's entertainment. And one massive blow to our fighter. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting it! Are you ready for a show? You're about to get a proper powerful show here, people. These are two of our boldest and wildest mates from way back. They know violence. I want to see that chap move and get this crowd loud.
Show me what you got. To bleed.
Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people, or what? Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. Just like a proper live highlight reel. Oh, that hit looked like fucking fun.
Nice easy warm-up.
Unbelievable! Boy, don't know how anyone will come back from that. Getting murdered in there. And that's it. One for the record books.
Oh! What's us? I can't stop! I like my tea the way I like you, not all over me. I can smell your foul breath. I like my tea the way I like you, not all over me. Ugh, too close. Honestly, it could be a whole lot worse. Arsehole. Maybe back up.
I look like an Egypt. Would you look at that?
Come on, chill, chill. Oh, fuck. Getting out of here. Can you just relax? One second.
Shit, take a deep breath.
want this harassment stopped? It's bad.
No, I'm listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, everything all right?
Otherwise, I warn you. You get me?
I'm really working.
You're not listening to me.
Jinx is like that.
Oh, okay.
Don't come round here
That's
again.
great. Absolutely. If you can, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, honestly, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much, yeah?
You don't know what we really do here. We let people live in safety so that they can turn around and call us fascists. That kind of thing puts us in danger. The next person who calls us a fascist will try taking our gun and shooting us with arms.
You're not listening to me.
Right. Clubs, Christian could in this earth.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Good luck out there.
Yeah, all right. Okay. That's great. Absolutely. If you can, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, honestly, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much, yeah? Seriously, no, hold on. Sure.
Miserable twat.
Listen.
Someone be a dear and kick the shit out of this fucker.
All units, possible suspect or
Control, we have an
suspects
officer
reporting
down.
near your location.
Monitoring for unusual activity.
Significant material problems in the country. In Britain, it always told itself it had this national myth, right, that it would, because it went through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. Actually, people during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff made.
I had them.
Now,
Just about there.
for the things that they...
You're in. Let's find the thing.
So they went to the black. Same thing. And where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting things.
I'm terminating the search. Fall back.
Now only get
Over.
through the black market, funneling funds.
Looking for some action, eh? Place your bets, fight lovers. Here they come. Purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and unsteady. Get on your feet and let them hear. But fucking wild blow, oh my God. Did you all see that monster hit on the screen? Fucking hell!
Get ready to weep.
Just like a proper live highlight reel. Oh yes, knockdown! That was a lovely knockdown. Back to it. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hot.
Bust you
The
up.
fight
look at those faces. Place your bets and strap them. Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fight. Fucking wild blow! Oh my God! They're getting murdered in there. Fucking hell! Seriously, no one will be able to get up from that. We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other. They're as cold as the land of their birth. But can they still bring the heat? Two violence-making machines from the Russian steppes. You don't want to miss this fight. Channel your friends. Oh, shit! And that's a solid blow down. Oh, that is like fucking hurt. An unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from that. Oh, they're gonna feel that itch in the morning if they wake up. Almost knock their teeth right out. Time to introduce my sister. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting!
No one will cry over your grave.
I hit you so hard, you think I'm your father.
And that's a hit! One for the record books! Now that's entertainment! What a massive blow to our fighter! Well, that's what happens when you're shit! Absolutely nobody saw that win coming. Unless you did, then you just made yourself a proper lumpy bit of dosh.
Well done. You've defeated every one of those loud, violent twats, proving that you are the loudest and most violent twat of all. Congratulations, I think.